She saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her. Then she left, speaking unto her. So they two went until they came to Bethlehem. And it came to pass, when they were come to Bethlehem, that all the city was moved about them. And they said, Is this Naomi? And she said unto them, Call me not Naomi. Call me Mara. Call me bitter. For the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with me. I went out full, and the Lord hath brought me home again empty. Why then call ye me Naomi, seeing the Lord hath testified against me, and the Almighty hath afflicted me? So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab. And they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of the barley harvest. Turn to your neighbor and say, Neighbor, on this morning, Pastor Watson is going to preach from the subject, you can conquer this. You can conquer this. Amen. You may have your seat in the presence of the Lord. You can conquer this.
Yes.
In the crucible of your crisis, it is your very character that is being revealed. It is not what happens to you that really counts. It's how you handle what's going on in your life. What it is that makes one person bitter and the other person better. When both of them have gone through the same thing, the same tragedy, the same trial, two people can be sitting in the same jail cell.
Right.
When one person sees the bars and the other person can see the stars. So now just what is it that makes them different? How do you see the glass half full and the other sees the glass half empty? It's your perspective. Tell somebody it's in your perspective. See, your perspective of what happens to you will either make you the victim or it'll make you the victor. See, in this church on this morning are those of you who are part of what I call the coalition of those who have been caught in a crisis. The coalition of those who got some stuff they need to conquer. A coalition of those who need to get in their spirit, who need to get in their mind. Oh yes, I can. Oh yes, I will. And oh yes, I'm gonna conquer this. See, those that life has handed them some critical and pitiful situations. Some situations that it don't look like there's no hope. It may be a pink slip on the job. It may be a breakup in a relationship. It may be that you reach your fourth tier on your unemployment and you ain't gonna send you no more money. It may be a foreclosure on your home. It may be you're already 3 months behind in your rent. It may be a deadline you can't meet on Monday morning. It may be some kind of despair. It may be a sudden death. It may be some form of depression. It may be some form of sickness. But if you're going through a crisis on this morning, then you can identify with Naomi here in our text. Here in our text, we have the beautiful story of 3 women and their husbands. You have this woman named Naomi, and you got another woman named Ruth. And then, but when I started out in the text, we got Naomi talking, and she's speaking to her daughter-in-law, and she's saying, "Look, the other one done went the other way. She kissed me and she left because she wasn't ready to come and follow me where I was going. So she went back to where she had came." And sometimes when you get in a place where you're ready to make a critical decision, it's easier to go back to what you knew than to go back to something that you don't know of. It's easier to go back and fall back on She done got up and left. But here we have these two women, Ruth and Naomi. And Naomi is speaking into Ruth's ear. And see, here we can identify with Naomi because she's right in the middle of a crisis. But she ain't in the middle of a crisis by herself. But here she got a young woman who has made a decision that where you go, I go. Where you lodge, I lodge. Where you die, I die. Your people gonna be my people. You ain't gonna shut me off any kind of way. Wherever you go, I'm gonna be right on your heels. Because I believe that there's a blessing in your life. And God ain't gonna bless you unless I be there. And that's what we gotta get sometimes. You better find you somebody that's on the right path. You better find you somebody that knows what a bread is. You better find you somebody that knows how to talk to the Lord. You better find you somebody that's been where you've been. Why don't you follow their path instead of knocking down your own trees and trunks? If I think you know where you're going and I need to get there, you're not going to be able to shake me. I'm going to be on your trail. So watch this. These three women. You got Ruth, Oprah, and Naomi. Miss Joyce, here they got three graves. And looking at three husbands. First one named Elimelech. Whose name means God is my king. He gone. Other one named Malon. Whose name means sickly. He got real sick, he gone. Then the other one's name is Chilion. Whose name means puny, you about to waste away. He gone. Now only do they see three graves of these three husbands, but the grief of these three working widow women, each one has buried their husband. And they stand with empty homes. They stand with empty hearts. And the circumstances of life has handed them a critical crisis. But one of the first lessons that the text is telling to teach us on this morning, watch this, is that, if you're going to make it through your crisis and conquer your crisis, you must be obedient in order to overcome. Look at this. Let me show you how disobedience can bring you down. Ruth and Oprah were natives of Moab. But Naomi had stepped outside of the will of God and left the place of bread. Stepped outside of the will of God. She left Bethlehem, Judah. And now finds herself in a famine with her family in the middle of a mess in Moab. Now she wasn't supposed to be there. But when you drift away from the house of bread, let me say that again. When you drift away from the house of bread, when you make up your mind, I'm going to skip this Sunday. I don't feel like getting up. I'm going to skip next Sunday. I ain't got enough gas. I'm going to skip the next Sunday. I'll catch them on fourth Sunday. What you're doing is drifting away. And when you start drifting away, the spirit man begins to go down. And when the spirit man begins to go down, guess who else is going down? Everything around you is going down. Everything under you is going down. And then when you're ready to come back up, here you come running. Bring the house of bread in. Let me get to church. Why they ain't here early? When is prayer meeting? When is Bible study? Because now you see yourself going down. And now you're ready to come to the house of bread. Drifting away from the house of bread.
That's good stuff right there.
Down now. Destitute now.
Lord have mercy.
Desperate now. In despair now. And it's because of disobedience.
Wow.
Now, how many of you sometimes can get in trouble just by being in the wrong place?
Wow.
You pay a price.
Wow.
There is a penalty. There's a painful punishment when you push away from the place where God has put you.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we serve a wonderful God that will send you a word while you're working through your crisis. That'll send you a word and tell you that you can conquer whatever you're in. Because sometimes that's all it takes is just one word. One word will move you from despair into your place of destiny. One